Hello, welcome to this edition of Momentum. I'm Robert Green, your host. Happy today to be joined by Dr. Jennifer Sloan Ziegler. Dr. Sloan Ziegler received 3 degrees from MSU, her bachelor's, master's, and PhD in civil engineering, and she's currently Senior Environmental Project Manager with Neel-Schaffer. Jennifer, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here today.
Happy to be here.
You recently won the 2023 Edmund Friedman Young Professional Award from American Society of Civil Engineers, one of only 2 in the world selected for that. And you've also very recently been selected as one of the top 20 under 40 by Engineering News Record. So what do those awards mean to you?
Oh man, they mean a lot to me. It recognizes the work and effort that I've put into my career. But more than that, I think that it recognizes some of the things that I do outside of my career that are beneficial to the civil engineering industry as a whole. The mentoring that I put time into in the development of new and incoming engineers, because a large part of those awards are not just about the technical and my technical abilities, but they are about developing the new generation of engineers that are coming in. So it means a lot to me to be recognized for some of the work that I've put in the profession. And I also love the fact that it highlights the fact that Mississippi and Mississippi State University produce fantastic engineers, in my opinion, and that Mississippi is not always lagging behind, but we lead the way in some things.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly very proud of all of your accomplishments. So as I mentioned, you did receive your bachelor's, your master's, and your doctorate in civil engineering from Mississippi State.
I did.
What role do you think that education and those experiences have played in your career, and particularly in winning these 2 very prestigious awards?
Especially for my bachelor's degree, the education that I received at Mississippi State gave me a fantastic foundation to build my career upon. The education that we receive here is very well-rounded and very robust, and it gives you a really great basis. It really teaches you how to learn and how to explore and find resources that you're going to need in your career. And I furthered that with my master's and my PhD, working with James Martin and Bill McAnally, 2 of the best in the field of water resources and sedimentation, just to enhance that foundation and strengthen my technical skills in the water resources and environmental portion. And so I credit Mississippi State and the education that I've received as being the strong foundation upon which I've built my career. And outside of that, Mississippi State and some of the classes that I took and some of the minors that I had really introduced me to the importance of public policy in engineering and mentoring and building relationships. And I do think that all of that together had really put me ahead of some other engineers, because it provided me a foundation to understand that engineering is not just about the numbers, but it's about so much more than the numbers. And it taught me how to learn and how to be a good steward and a good citizen.
Okay. Well, you mentioned the M word, so let's talk about that for a little bit. How important do you think mentorship is, and what kind of role has that played in your professional career?
I think mentorship is extremely important. Mentorship can offer you so much more and can help elevate your career. I have mentors. I have multiple mentors. I have male and female mentors, and have had for over a decade. And I have mentees, male and female. And I think mentorship is extremely important because it gives you a sounding board. It gives you somebody that you can talk to, discuss things with, that you trust, that has seen a lot of things or can help you. I know reverse mentorship is a thing right now where somebody older has a mentor that's younger that's helping them learn a new skill or technology. That's extremely important. And a mentor can really help you sit back and say, okay, what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? How can I capitalize on my strengths and how can I shore up my weaknesses? What do I need to do and what do I need to develop in order to get ahead? Like I said, engineering is not all about the numbers. There's so much more to it than that. And I think mentorship gives you some of those softer skills that are essential in what we do every day.
Well, we're making some strides in increasing the number of women in engineering.
We are.
But it is still a predominantly male-dominated field. Mm-hmm. So what advice do you have for women in engineering who are seeking mentors? And what advice do you have for men who might find themselves needing to mentor some of those women?
The advice that I have for the women that are seeking mentors, well, first of all, the advice I have for anybody is get a mentor, get 2 mentors, or more than 2. The advice I have for women seeking mentors is don't wait for a mentor to come to you. Identify somebody that you would like to learn from and ask them to mentor you. One of the mentees that I have now, we were paired together through Mississippi State's mentor program last semester as a trial, and I wasn't planning on participating in the mentor program this year due to time constraints. And we had ended our relationship at the end of the summer last year, and she called me and she said, at the beginning of the fall semester, she said, would you mentor me again this semester? And I said, I'll make time in my schedule. If you are willing to call somebody and ask them to mentor you, yeah, I'm willing to make time in my schedule for that. So don't wait for a mentor to come to you. Ask a mentor. And if you're told no, ask somebody else and don't take it personally. For men that are being asked to mentor anybody, but especially a female, please say yes. Men are taught things in the industry and in the business that women are not. And it's not through anybody's fault. It's just that men usually mentor men, and so they teach them things that they were taught. And so it's essential that men mentor women so that we can also learn what they were taught, but they didn't necessarily know they were being taught.
Okay, good advice.
Thanks.
And thank you for mentoring women.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask you, one of the common questions we'll get from especially prospective students is, how do I know what field of engineering? Well, I like math and science, but I don't know what to do. How did you end up choosing civil engineering?
That's actually kind of a funny story. My dad went to Mississippi State and he graduated in what would be business construction sciences now, but it was part of the engineering department when he was here for construction. And I have 2 sisters. I'm the middle child, and he actually said the whole time growing up, I don't care where you go to school and I don't care what you study as long as you go to Mississippi State and you study civil engineering. And so I always thought, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And then through some programs that Mississippi State had, some summer camps, I was able to come on campus multiple times, participate in a SWE program over the summer, participate in other engineering camps, and I got to learn about the different fields of engineering. And I thought, oh, maybe I want to be aerospace, or maybe I want to do something else, or maybe structures. And I was kind of undecided about really what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to do engineering, and I knew that I was very interested in the mathematics portion. So I thought, okay, aerospace or structures is going to be great. When I actually applied for entry into Mississippi State, I accidentally clicked in chemical engineering.
Okay.
And I was admitted to the Swan School of Chemical Engineering. I got a letter and it was like, congratulations, you've been accepted to the Swan. And I was like, no, not chemistry. So I quickly changed that to civil.
Okay.
And I thought that I wanted to go into structures. I took my first structures class and I was like, nope, I love math, this is not for me. And I took James Martin's Water Resources Engineering 2 course, and I absolutely fell in love with water resources, and I just kind of stumbled into it.
Okay.
But my dad likes to say, there's 3 of us, 2 of us are civil engineers, all of us went to Mississippi State. He's got a pretty good batting average.
Yeah, we like your dad. Oh, well, that is an interesting story. Now, it seems like only yesterday, but it has been a few years. But I remember when we were recruiting you and trying to get you to come to school here, I know you had some other very good schools making you some really good offers. What influenced your decision to decide to come to Mississippi State rather than some of those other schools where you also had very good scholarship opportunities?
Other than my dad's, like whispering in my ear my entire life, Mississippi State, Mississippi State. Other than that, that's what you're.
Other than that,
Other
than that.
Part of it was I was offered fantastic scholarships at Mississippi State. I knew my entire life that if I wanted to go to school, if I wanted to go to college, that I was going to have the financial burden of going to college, which is completely fine.
Yeah.
And so anything that I could do in order to lessen the amount of debt that I came out of school with was extremely important to me. My family is from the area, and my sisters, both of them, were kind of moving away and unavailable to my family, my parents at the time. So I wanted to stay close in case my parents needed anything due to some health concerns. And then on top of that, one of the things that really struck me about Mississippi State and the civil engineering department very particularly was the fact that our employment rate upon graduation was so high and is still extremely high. When I came to Mississippi State, I started school in 2006. As we know, there was a huge economic downturn in 2008. Even then, employment placement was in the 90 to 95% upon graduation from Mississippi State with a civil engineering degree. Today, I think the last number that I saw was 97% of our graduates are immediately placed in a career. And that spoke volumes to me because I'm not coming to school for the fun of it. I'm coming to school because I want a degree and I want an education for a career. And the high employment placement that Mississippi State has and the reverence with which employers hold our degree and they want to hire engineers from Mississippi State, that was kind of what sealed the deal for me, really.
Okay. We have about 30 seconds left. So real quick, what advice would you give to current undergraduate engineering students to be successful in school and in their careers?
Learn how to deal with failure and have a stick-to-itness. You're not always going to succeed and you're not always going to get the result that you want, but you need to keep pushing forward.
Okay. Well, I think that's very good advice. I hope they'll heed that advice and do well.
Hopefully.
Congratulations again on your award. We're very proud of you here in the Bagley College of Engineering for all of your successes. And we're very happy for all of you who joined us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time.